Well, listen, I think actually what it's all about is what Tucker actually said last night, which is that the one thing you're not allowed to do in Washington, D.C. is stop the forever wars that seem to get everyone so rich. You're not allowed to go up against China that the billionaire donor class from both sides benefits so much from. You're not allowed to call out those kinds of things. You can do a lot, you can say a lot, but when you actually start putting that into action, that's where they draw the line and the uni-party takes over.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Donald Trump Jr. blames his father's legal troubles on politics. Looking like he was in a janitor's closet at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump Jr. joined slimy Steve Bannon on an episode of The War Room on Wednesday and entertained foolish notions and idiotic conspiracies.
That's the unforgivable offense that has culminated in 7 years of trying to destroy my father for doing what's right for the American people, for putting America first. And, we are witnessing the end of the republic if this is allowed to go through.
The bumbling butthead rambled on about this being the stuff that comes out of communist and socialist regimes and dictatorships around the world, talking about the 37 federal charges against his father. He suggested that if it were anyone other than his dim-witted daddy, there would be an invasion happening. We'd be putting boots on the ground. He tried to hype up his point, but fell flat as usual. Junior may be the absolute dumbest of the Trump children.
This is the stuff that we've seen come out of the communist and socialist regimes and dictatorships around the world. These are the kinds of things that if they were going on in other countries, America would be talking about doing an invasion and getting into another war to prevent it from happening. And yet it's happening right here in our backyard, Steve.
Junior went on a delusional rant talking about people like Joe Biden trying to destroy his father for doing what's right for the American people, for putting America first. He completely failed to acknowledge the infection that is his daddy. He deflected any accountability and projected blame onto everyone who stands in his treasonous father's way. Junior and Bannon were like a tag team of spoiled milk and rotten eggs, both useless and both stink. Junior knows that he is probably going to be left out of Donald's will too, and is desperate to stay relevant by riding the talk show circuit in defense of his entitled arrogance.
There's two levels of justice. There's one for powerful Democrats, and there's one for everyone else. You've seen that. You've seen, the only precedent on a similar case like this is Bill Clinton, and it seems everything is 100% fine. You have the Joe Biden document scandal, and he was vice president and couldn't actually declassify those documents. They're sitting all over his Chinese-funded think tank. They're sitting in his garage where Hunter Biden had access while he was magically, raking in millions from China and Ukraine and Russia. And, we're to believe that he had no power and others had no power over him with this information and knowledge. I'm sure that's viable, just like I'm sure those people invested in a crackhead because it was a good business proposition, not because they were buying influence. That's not how it works in the real world, but I think the American people are now seeing that, Carl. They're seeing just how insane all of this actually is. They're seeing just how far the Democrats will go to pursue their political enemies.
Junior said that America would be talking about doing an invasion and getting into another war if the president was getting arrested in another country. Through crocodile tears, he boo-hooed about it happening in his own backyard. He suggested that it was the end of the republic if justice is allowed to be carried out with his daddy's incarceration. It's not the end of the republic, Junior. It's the end of the Trump grift, and the world will be a better place with your nasty daddy locked in a cell with a stopped-up toilet. I've got an idea. You can join him, and that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.